I'd like to thank you, thanks to everyone, thanks for having us. I'm really honoured and really happy to be able to come and give you the Civic Tech Fredericton story. And hopefully my witty subtitle was better than Netflix. Trademark pending. So yeah, we're fairly new to the Civic Tech scene, at least we feel like we are. Last July, Gabe came to Fredericton and held a Code for Canada open house. Unfortunately, I wasn't there, but lucky for Fredericton, Sandy McKinnon was, who is the Executive Director of Greater Fredericton Social Innovation. Now, GFSI is a non-profit and it coordinates a network of community organisations with mandates to do good in the community. So when Gabe started to talk about Civic Tech Fredericton, obviously Sandy knew that she had to make this happen, and anyone that's met Sandy knows that she makes things happen. So Civic Tech Fredericton was born. We held our first official meeting in October, and we deployed our first solution in March. We now have 3 other research projects, I'm a researcher, they're not research projects, they're Civic Tech projects. We have 3 other projects in various stages of research, design and development, so things are moving pretty fast. So I'm going to share some of, and that's the last of the clip part, I promise. So I'm going to share some reflections on what has set us off on what we feel has set us off on such a strong footing. So, firstly, I've gone into edit mode, chaos. Firstly, the importance of our relationship with the non-profit community cannot be understated. During the initial kick-off meeting, one of the developers at the table said, "We just need interesting problems to solve," and Sandy nearly fell off the table. She's like, "We have interesting problems to solve." You don't have to look any further than the non-profit sector and public service to find them. So the photo here is from a community dialogue facilitated by the Mayor's Task Force on Homelessness. So one of the problems that emerged during this dialogue was that community organisations don't know what services each other are providing. And so the impact of that is we have people turning up to the food kitchen, too late to the soup kitchen, but the workers don't know where to send them for food. Or if a kitchen has food left over, they don't know where to send the food that it could be used. So based on that, we are, sorry, I just need to get over it. We're in the design phase of building an affordable community caring calendar, so these organisations can hopefully start to build a shared awareness of the services that they're offering so that they can collaborate and coordinate. So as far as encouraging community involvement, technology is really intimidating for people that aren't comfortable with it. That might be a statement of the obvious, but I think it's something we forget. I'm biased, but I think the whole team would agree that using co-design methods and participatory design methods really does encourage community members to participate. Here we have city staff with the Civic Techers working in teams to iterate on designs that are going to eventually streamline the communication of city service closures to the general public, so that will be coming up soon. And as I said, technologies, we forget how intimidating it can be, so we want to lower the barriers so that everyone can take part in the conversation and have fun. This stuff is fun. So this is the project that we deployed in March, and so I'm going to spend a little bit more time, hopefully not too much, just talking about why we feel this was a real kind of the perfect project for us to start with. So this is Riverwatch Mobile. It's basically a mobile version of a service that already exists on the web. It's a provincial flood warning system. So the problem being that the website is based on Flash, and so it's no longer available on smartphones. And when it floods, the only way a lot of people can access the internet is on their smartphones. So, So in many respects, this was the perfect project for us to get started with. It had a really well-defined scope. It was already supported by open data, but importantly for us, we had a member of the team who knew that open data was there and how to access it. And it also had a hard deadline. The floods weren't going to wait for us to finish. March 12th. Yeah, it was March 13th, but one day isn't bad for a voluntary organisation. 1 minute. So, I do want to mention, it's important to mention that Bernie, who's our Civic Techer, was sitting on this idea for 4 years, but he couldn't find anyone to help him get it done. He pitched it at a couple of startup events, and again, that's the beauty of Civic Tech. Solutions don't have to be profitable, they just have to do good. The other point is that GMB weren't aware that we were doing this. Open data gives us permission to be proactive in building solutions, and then we can just arrive with the solution. This year we had some of the worst floods in history, in recent history, and the site actually had up to 5,000 people per day at the worst parts of the flood, so we didn't have to apologise for this. Our GMB were thrilled that we'd done it. And so, just to shift to kind of the human side of this story, if anybody's in the room that's considering starting or joining in Civic Tech, I just want to share a couple of quotes from the team as to why we think you should. The obvious thing is that you get to do good, and we are better than Netflix. But we also get back, and I think that's been a surprise we didn't really anticipate. The people around the table are so diverse with such interesting backgrounds. We leave each session better people. That's a grand claim, but it's true, and there was consensus around the table when we discussed this. So you get a lot back from it. We joke. It's like our book club for nerds. But it's more than that, because it's a network, and Sandy would kill me if I didn't mention this, but we've had newcomers to Canada joining the team, and students, and they instantly become connected to this really strong network. We've had the mayor come and participate 3 times. The Chamber of Commerce is involved and is on the mailing list, and we know for sure that 2 newcomers have got employment through their connection with Civic Tech. It's a really amazing movement. And so, if we were going to kind of have a cheat sheet for what would make Civic Tech successful, we would say really emphasise building strong connections with community, most of all. We made a conscious decision to have our meetings at the same place in a community centre as opposed to up at the Innovation Hub, because we wanted to be part of the community. And on a pragmatic level, having a consistent place and time is just, it lowers administrative burden, and pizza always helps. There was a phase where, like, unbeknownst to me, I only appeared when there was pizza, but that wasn't intentional. And so I'd just like to thank Code for Canada and everybody that's involved, and thanks for listening to me ramble. And yeah, have a great night.